Hello teachers, good afternoon po. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat na nandito po ngayon sa ating live stream, our Thursday live stream. No? Sabi nga ni Sir Jeffrey kanina, ating 5 o'clock habit. No? Although technically 5:15 habit natin no? Kasi naka-offset tayo. Pero magandang hapon po. Good afternoon to everyone. Nandito po ngayon sa live session natin for our part ng ating October series. No? At of course, ang ating pa rin topic na for this afternoon ay tungkol pa rin sa mga EdTech tools, no? Because as we know, no, ang theme natin for the entire October is EdTech Tools Festival. Okay? Sa mga umattend to, by the way, no, sa mga umattend po ng ating session last Thursday last week, okay? We have sent already your certificates. Do please check your email and spam folders, okay, para po sa certificate on the pair deck at saka class point session natin. Okay? As for the Edpuzzle and Canva, we'll be sending that tomorrow since we have a 1,500 emails no limitation per day, and we have used that no just for the pair deck and the class point certificates. Okay? And of course, pakiabangan din po no kasi yung pong nag-attend ng pair deck tsaka class point session natin last Thursday will also get a certificate from ClassPoint. No? So, ibig sabihin, makakatanggap din po kayo ng certification from ClassPoint. So, dalawang certificates po ang matatanggap nyo no, from last Thursday. One from KTS and one from ClassPoint. Okay? But before we start our session for today, let's just do some greetings for our teachers. Okay? Alam ko po, it's a Thursday. Medyo pagod na po tayo ngayon. Okay? Pero again, maraming salamat for still being with us here. Let me start with Teacher Hay. I think, yan. Okay, let's start from 3:51 p.m. Okay, sobrang aga po. No? Teacher Glenda Aloran. Okay, good afternoon. Teacher Maria Nineta Lucero. Okay. Teacher Ronald M. Good afternoon. Teacher Ray Carlos de la Cruz. Excited here, iOS user. Okay. Teacher Rosemalen Rosel. Yan. Teacher Rosemalen. Hindi tayo ngayon Microsoft. Hindi rin tayo ngayon Google. No? We'll be exploring a whole different world of EdTech tools. Okay? Teacher Jessie Ray Millamena, Teacher Noel Opanto, Teacher Lamberto Pilatan, Teacher Romel Rosita. Alam ko po, Teacher Romel, you're so busy, pero maraming salamat for always joining our live stream. Okay? Teacher Marisa Gumabong, yes, okay, all the way from Iloilo. Okay, maayong hapon sa aton tanan. Teacher Manolita White from Cebu City, magandang hapon po, always here. We're so glad to always have you in our live stream. Teacher Rica May Dominguez, okay? Yes, no, welcome, Teacher Rica May, to our to KTS, no? I hope that you're enjoying our October series so far, okay? Teacher Maria Ana Piso Malinaw, Teacher Pio Gapus, Pastor Manny Garcia is always here, Teacher Pipito Liwanag, Teacher Arnie Camerlotes Pagulayan, okay? Magandang hapon po, Teacher Arnie, okay? Teacher Lilian Gumban, of course, Teacher Jeffrey Beltran, yung ating 5 o'clock habit. And of course, Teacher Hazel Ann Kim, Doc Cha, good afternoon. Teacher Fat Malaya Metmug, and Teacher Manny Romeroso, Teacher Lucita Bergonio, Teacher Maria Rosalina Aquino, Teacher Manny from Cavite, okay? Naggumalaw, no? And Teacher Sir AJ Edu Vlogs, good afternoon. Abijoy Bibal, Senora Bueno, Teacher Reyes Dalian, Teacher Edreleca May Verdadero, Teacher Beverly Joy Kua Jao, and Teacher Christina Pedor, and Teacher Luciana Losada, Teacher Connie Cruz, Teacher May Abaysa Versosa, Teacher Nicole Ann Rose Malapo, and of course, the Teacher Nicole Valdez. Magandang hapon po and welcome to our stream for this afternoon. Okay, so ngayon pong hapon, teachers, okay, for the third installment of our October series, okay, we'll be talking about Apple and iOS tools, no, for the 21st century education tools. Ngayon, okay, some disclaimers lang, no, bago tayo magsimula. Kasi baka sabihin ng iba, ay, limited to sa sa mga Apple users, no, tsaka mga iOS users. Kaya pero okay, despite of that po, no, okay, we still think that there's so much, okay, to find out about Apple and iOS tools. Okay? Baka mamaya isa na to sa mga magiging investment natin, okay, when it comes to to educational technology. Okay? Yes, okay, it's exclusive, no, and it's of course, no, tied up, no, with the use of the device, but you will also find out the benefits of doing that or having that kind of integration and and setup. Okay. And of course, okay, para sa hapong to, no, we'll also be able to look at and have a glimpse of the very powerful tools na meron si Apple tsaka iOS tools. Okay? So yan po yung pag-usapan. So do not be discouraged. Okay? Kahit hindi tayo gumagamit ng Apple or iOS tools for now, okay? This is something that might contribute to our understanding of EdTech tools. Plus, okay, mamaya, no, hindi lang kasi tools, syempre, i-share sa atin ng ating speaker mamaya, no, kahit yung paggamit, yung strategies, and those things might actually help you out, no, pagdating sa paggamit ng mga iba't ibang mga tools. Okay? Yes, no, baka mapabili ka na Teacher Rose Malente ng ng tools. Pero again, this is not just exclusively for those who are using Apple and iOS tools. No, this is something for all of us, for us to widen our horizon. Okay, para mas makita pa natin beyond Google and beyond Microsoft. Okay, what else is there? Okay, what else could we find out? Okay, what other edtech tools are available for us? Okay. So for this afternoon, I am it is my honor to present our speaker for today. Actually not really an introduction kasi he has been a mainstay sa ating sa ating mga webinars I think this is the fourth time that he's visiting our community so he's been a regular. Okay, so our guest for this afternoon is an Apple learning provider from Senko Link Philippines. Okay, an edtech specialist. Okay, also a teacher. Formerly he has been teaching Filipino subject. Okay, kaya mamaya yung pagiging matatas niya sa Filipino ay magiging very evident. Okay, so for this afternoon, teachers, okay, let us all welcome our guest speaker, Sir Regan Austria.
Thank you, Teacher Franco, and hello everyone. Good afternoon. It's nice to be back here at the Kaagapay Teacher Support Community, and I consider myself, of course, as a member of this community. I really love the enthusiasm of the teachers, and even from the start, I really like that you are all engaged. No matter what the topic is, everyone is focused on enhancing teaching and learning for our students. Thank you again for inviting me, Sir Franco.
Yes, and we are excited, Sir Regan. Okay, and I hope I was able to give a really good context and a prelude to your wonderful talk for today. But before I, of course, give the floor to you, Sir Regan, and let you know onto your session, okay, for today. May we just ask, like an overview, what do we expect, or what we'll be expecting from your session for today? What are the things we're going to cover for your session?
This afternoon will be an afternoon of appreciating the device. Furthermore, we are inviting you to immerse yourselves into the different built-in apps that you don't need to download anymore. Everything that comes out of the box from the device that you have, or from the device that you will have after this session, hopefully. Everything that you can easily translate into your teaching process, and imagine how your students will be using this device together with the apps in the future school years.
Sir Regan, malay natin. Okay, baka soon magbigay sa KTS ng iPad, para sa mga teachers. You never know. Okay, everything is possible for the teachers. Okay, so teachers, okay, so Regan, we will now give the floor to you for your session. Okay, teachers, okay, just some reminders. Okay, we'll be at the chat. Okay, if you have some questions, okay, I can somehow answer some of your questions. Not really an expert on some of the iOS tools, okay, but I'll be able to help. Okay, so please do let me know in the chat. As well as don't forget that this is a certified event. Okay, so we'll be giving a certificate. Okay, just make sure to wait until the end and accomplish the evaluation form. Okay, so enjoy the session, teachers. Okay, and Sir Regan, good luck. Okay, and I'll see you later at the panel discussion.
Thank you, Sir Franco. As we begin our session this afternoon, Sir Franco will share to you a link that I have prepared for everyone who's attending today's session. I'll be giving you a link, and I'd like you to visit it, and please let me know through the chat if you have accessed the file already. There you go. So ang link po natin ay nasa chat room. If you can copy it and paste it on a web browser, kung ano man ang ginagamit ninyo, if you're using using Chrome or Safari or any other browser, kindly go to this link. This file is password protected. Para tayo muna na umattend today will have access to it because I have prepared some mini tasks for you to perform this afternoon. Ayan. Please let me know, teachers, if you can access the file already. Ayan, I can see one joining the file. It's actually a collaborative file. And this afternoon, I will be using another tool as my presentation tool. I will not use Keynote. I will not use PowerPoint for my presentation this afternoon. Instead, I'm using another built-in tool that I hope you will also appreciate. The password is also on the chat room. So as you can see on the screen, teachers, we already have 6 people in this file, and hopefully the others can also join as we go through our session today. And let's wait for some more. Siguro kapag naka-10 na tayo, we can proceed. Let's wait for some more. It takes time usually for it to load because I have several media inserted on this file. Thank you, Sir AJ. I've read earlier that there's a fellow teacher of ours here who's an iOS user. So maybe, sir, this is the perfect time that you explore also the other parts of the device that you have. We have 7 already. Let's wait for 3 more. Loading pa, Teacher Karen. It's okay. So the strategy that I'm trying to share today is using a digital whiteboard through a built-in app on the iPad that is called Numbers. Numbers is the counterpart of Excel if you are a Microsoft user, or if you are a Google Workspace user, that's Google Sheets. Yan. Sa iPad, it's called, or sa Apple, it's called Numbers. Still loading, Teacher Connie. All right, so for this afternoon, for the next 1.5 hours, these are our learning goals. Very basic lang po, teachers. And everything is about appreciation. As Teacher Franco said earlier, we'd like just you to explore this, and hopefully you'll find it relevant to you and helpful to you, so that in the future, you might also consider these tools. So first, okay, we already have 9. That's okay. First, I'd like you to appreciate the iPad as a mobile learning device. Ayan. Kasi syempre, di ba, sikat ang iPad sa Pilipinas, lalo na. Pero sa mga eskwelahan, hindi pa gaanong na-explore yung kung ano ang meron talaga sa iPad bilang isang learning device. And I like to highlight on the word mobile because as compared to the desktop and laptop computers that we usually use for work, or usually we usually use this for school, tayong mga teachers, etong iPad is really a mobile device that you can bring anywhere, and which enables also and encourages our students to move around the physical space that is available to them, whether they are at home or whether they are in the physical school, and hopefully that will happen soon. Secondly, I like everyone to appreciate the iPad as a computer. Yan. Madalas, naikukumpara po natin yung iPad sa computer na, mas powerful yung laptop. Yes, tama yun. Mas powerful yung desktop. Yes, tama rin yun. But today, I'd like you to take a closer look on this device na pwede pala siyang computer. In fact, I've been using my iPad na luma na 3 years na ito. And if you're gonna look at it, it looks like a real computer. Yan. Tanggal lang sa connection. I'm using an iPad, a 6th gen iPad. So 3 taon na siya. Pero what I did is I attach a keyboard to it, and I'm also using a stylus para lahat ng mga functionalities ng iPad ay meron ako. Ayan. Mamaya, i-appreciate pa po natin kung ano yung meron dito. Why I'd like you to look at the iPad as a real computer. Ayan. Check ko lang po yung connection ko ulit. Ayan. We already have 21 teachers joining our collaborative numbers file. Ayan. Let me just share my presentation again. All right. Share. Saglit po ah.
Hello, teachers. Habang inaayos ni Sir Regan yan. Okay, so let's get into the document. Okay, I included the link to the document in our chat na teachers. Okay, and the password to the document is Senkolink. Okay, so enter na para po mas ma-explore natin at mas maging hands-on tayo para sa session ni Sir Regan. Okay, and of course let us for gusto rin po namin kayong invite for our session on Saturday. We have our next session, which will be on, ayan, ano lang po natin, meron po tayong session on Wakelet and Adobe Premiere Pro, no? Lalo na po ngayon, teachers, na marami nakatanggap ng libreng Adobe Premiere Pro. Adobe account actually, So sa mga nakatanggap po na Adobe account, teachers, no, ito na po yung opportunity nyo para ma-maximize ang inyong account, no. So we'll be talking about Adobe Premiere Pro for creating video lessons, and also Wakelet, no, for curating resources naman. So paano po tayo pwedeng create ng space, no, virtual space para sa ating mga resources, And of course, next week, we'll be having a session on quizzes and Ziplet. We have an international speaker po, no. Next week, pinadala ng Ziplet, to talk about Ziplet, no. That's a formative assessment tool, sobrang magugustuhan niyo rin po yan, And of course, we'll be capping off our October series, with EdTech Blitz, which will be short sharing of the favorite tools ng inyong pong mga administrators, ng ibang pang mga educators, etc. So we'll be having that on the last day of our session. Okay? And of course, abangan na rin po natin kasi wala po tayong break, teachers, no? After ng October series natin, pagkatapos ng October series natin, the week after that is right off, diretso na po tayo sa ating November series, no? Na ang theme po natin for the November series is 21st Century Education, okay? The post-pandemic situation or education. Okay? So we have curated, no, topics and speakers, okay, to talk about hybrid learning, to talk about PBL, okay, and all other things that we have to consider, okay, when we're talking about the 21st century education. And of course, yung pinakamalaking consideration natin ay yung post-pandemic. Ano na nga bang mangyayari, no? After the pandemic, no? What will happen to education? And that's one thing that we have to consider. Okay, so go, Sir Regan, are you okay na with your...
Thank you, Sir Franco. Sorry about that, teachers. Na-disconnect yung aking screen sharing. But I think it's okay now.
Very much part talaga, no? Minsan talaga may mga ganito tayong occurrences, okay? Nagkaka-problema tayo. So yan, kay Sir Regan, nasa backstage ng iyong presentation. Okay? Good
Thank
luck
you.
po, sir.
Thank you ulit. All right, teacher. So I was talking about the second objective that we have for this afternoon, that is to appreciate the iPad as a computer. And hopefully makita natin yun through the different tools available inside this mini machine. And thirdly, I'd like everyone to be able to appreciate the iPad's built-in productivity and creativity tools for learning. Kasi hindi syempre lahat nakakaalam na maging yung iPhone na binili natin ng mahal sa mga stores ay mayroong mga tools that we can use for teaching and learning, and these are the same things that we will be discovering and exploring today. All right, so I have here images of the different devices included in the Apple ecosystem. So some of you, as I can read in the chat room, some of you are saying that they already have an iPad Pro. Thank you po. Some are using iPhone, so meron silang iOS device. Sa iPad naman, ang tawag doon ay iPad OS, ang operating system. And then itong laptop naman at saka iMac, ang tawag dito ay Mac OS, yung Mac operating system. And all of this work seamlessly. Ibig sabihin, if you are using two or more of these devices and you are using the same Apple ID, that means that anything that you do in one device can be continued in another device seamlessly. Even when you just type a quick note on your iPad and you're using a MacBook or using an iMac, makikita mo agad yun. Mag-a-appear na siya ron. You don't need to save it in a thumb drive and transfer it to the other machine. You just have to connect your device in the internet, and you can instantly see yung mga files that you have created from one device. So that's how wonderful the Apple ecosystem really is. Even yung Apple Watch, if you have an Apple Watch, connected din yun as long as you're using the same Apple ID doon sa devices mo. All right, so I'd like us to try this very short activity. Gusto ko lang makita yung interactivity o interaction na meron dito sa loob ng numbers file that I have shared with you. Currently, we are 23 here inside this collaborative tool. So I have here on the right side images of hands. So what I'd like you to do is to drag one of these hands and place it over the subject, the box that corresponds to the subject that you teach. For example, me, I'm teaching Filipino. I used to teach Filipino, so I'll put it here. So everyone, the 23 teachers here, can you please drag one hand and put it over the subject that you teach? Tingnan ko lang po kung mag-work ito sa atin kasi this is the first time that I'm using this collaborative document in StreamYard. Ayan. Wow, thank you. Thank you. think it's working. Salamat po, teachers. Ayan. Oh, well represented ang ating mga subjects ngayong hapon. Let's have some more. Senior high school TLE teachers represent. ESP teachers, just grab one hand from the right side and drag it, place it over the box that corresponds to your subject area. Thank you, teachers. Wow, may nag-change pa ng colors. Thank you, teachers. That's how our students normally do it, no? We give them an instruction and then they go beyond the instruction. But that's beautiful. Salamat po. So medyo marami tayong mga senior high school teachers here. Let's wait for more hands to move. Again, teacher, even if I am not projecting the screen here via StreamYard, as long as everyone has joined this collaborative numbers file, all of us can actually perform the same task, as you can see happening right now. Ayan. And what's good about it is that I think not every one of us are using Apple devices, tama po ba? Some of us are using other devices, but they can access it through a browser, tama po ba? And yan, even if CP ang gamit, tama, medyo tiyaga-tiyaga lang tayo dahil maliit ang mga images dun sa ating screen sa mobile. Teacher Emmy is from Marikina Polytechnic College. I'm also from Marikina, teacher. Shout out to Mariqueño teachers here. Ayan. So let's have 30 seconds to give more teachers the chance to represent themselves by moving one hand. Akala ko po French fries yung nasa science, yung merong color red and biglang may yellow. Ayan. All right, let's wait for some more. 15 seconds, teachers. Ayaw ma-move ng hand. Pili ka ng ibang hand, Teacher Emmy. Ayan. Meron yata akong mga 40 hands na nilagay dyan. Or 40 or 80 hands. Ayan. Move lang, drag lang. Awesome. Perfect, teachers. Thank you for participating in our very first task using the numbers file, collaborative document that I have prepared for you. That means that in the succeeding tabs, as you can see on the upper portion of the screen, you'll be able to perform the tasks as well. That's the next tasks as well. All right. So again, thank you, Sir Franco. I actually represent an Apple education partner that is called Senkoling Technologies. We are an Apple authorized education reseller and also an Apple authorized service provider. But in the malls, if you are gonna find us in the malls, ang pangalan po namin ay iStudio. And then yung service center namin is called iService. And if you visit schools, certain universities, we have Apple stores inside. Ang tawag naman doon ay iCampus. So if you'd like to join our Viber community para makakuha kayo ng mga updates about mga latest Apple devices and services, you may also join through this link, itong Viber community. That's bit.ly/Senko Customer Care. So just a brief background kung saan ako galing and bakit Apple yung pinopromote ko sa inyo ngayon. Alright, thank you again, teachers. Team replay, sige, mamaya ulit-ulitin natin, teachers, meron tayong recap. Thank you, Teacher Gemma. Let's go now to the second tab of this document. Alright, so this whole afternoon will be devoted to getting to know the iPad further, di ba? Beyond its price and beyond the several models that has been announced by Apple just recently, di ba? Marami tayong mga bagong mga Apple devices na narinig. Pero mag-zoom in lang tayo ngayon tonight sa iPad. Alright. So, meron akong mga pinrepare dito na mga tasks na madalas nating ginagawa as teachers and as students. Yan, yung iba sa atin gumagamit ng Google Workspace applications, nag-create tayo ng tables and charts, nag-annotate tayo ng mga Word documents, nag-edit tayo ng mga vlogs, nag-produce tayo ng podcast. So, just like in the previous tasks that you just did, teachers, I'd like you to move one of these to the side of the pie chart that you think corresponds to this question. Can you do this on the iPad? Ayan. So, ito muna tayo ngayon. Check natin kung ano yung uh, uh, alam muna natin tungkol sa iPad as a device. Ayan. So, please feel free to begin now, teachers. Ang mga choices natin dito ay yes, no, and maybe. If you're not sure, of course, na maybe natin siya ilalagay. Ayan. So, I'll start one. Halimbawa, the question is, can you do this on the iPad? Create and publish ebooks. I'll place it over here. All right. Can you continue, teachers? Browse lang ninyo all the 27 of us here in the collaborative document. I-move po ninyo. Teacher RV Ubaro of Hope Christian is here. Hello, sir. Teacher Klein, hello. Ayan. Teacher Franco is again sharing the link to our collaborative document. Thank you. I see it moving now. Ayan. Gawin lang natin, teachers, na hindi siya magkakapatong-patong. So, everything will be readable. Ayan. So, for those, hello, Teacher Dali, Filipino teacher din daw siya. Mabuhay tayo, mabuhay tayo. It's okay, Teacher Rowena. One expectation about using collaborative documents using numbers, halimbawa, is connection problem. Yun, madalas nagli-leave ka dun sa collaborative work. Pero sa totoo lang, yung 26 natin kanina, parang hindi naman siya drastically nababawasan. Parang kung may nagli-leave man pa isa-isa lang siguro sa personal connection nila at home. Yan. Kindly move the documents to your answer. So teachers, as you can see, kung medyo iti-tweak natin yung style natin when we conduct synchronous classes or even asynchronous classes with our students, no? And if you can imagine using this numbers document sa kanila, no? Parang makita mo talaga na everyone is engaged, and even those na mahihain sa klase can anonymously answer or respond to your tasks. Gayun din, we're also giving them another option aside from using Mentimeter, using Poll Everywhere that we often use as poll tools, no, sa klase. Syempre, maganda sa bagong school year, may bago tayong hain sa kanila, no? Parang, we're actually voting but we're not using a voting tool. Ayan. Ayun, teachers, ano lang natin, pag-anuhin lang natin. Ayusin natin na hindi sila magkakapatong so we can still read it. Alright. So I'm assuming that since everyone is putting it on the green part, siguro dun banda siya, no? Yun yung answer natin. So wala pa tayo nakikitang answers na nasa no and maybe. Yan. Let's see if your answers are correct later as we explore each of the built-in tools that we can see, that can find on the iPad. Let me just say, teachers, that I'm using an old iPad. It's a 6th generation iPad. That's 3 years old already. Ayan. There are more teachers, ha? Ayan, meron pa tayo dito. All right. Let's wait for some more answers. Ubusin na natin to, teachers. Lahat ng mga nasa baba. Ayan, meron pa. Etong isa, parang giveaway na kasi I just showed it earlier to you. Let's go. Sir Michael from Good Shepherd in Butuan City. Hello, sir. You're here. Mga teacher friends natin, everyone is here. Ayan. Parang napalitan yata ng font size yung iba, pero it's okay. Okay, let's have some more. Meron pa po sa baba. Busin na po natin, teachers. Ayan, okay. Now it's moving. Wag po natin i-delete, ha. I-move lang po natin, teachers. Meron pa ba natira? There are 2 more. Ayan, check natin. Meron pang natira, teachers. Itong attach a physical keyboard, I just showed it to you earlier. So, saan natin ilalagay ito? See, let's put it somewhere sa side ng yes. Kasi pinakita ko sa inyo kanina. Using a stylus, I think this one is also an obvious answer. Ayan. All right. Thank you again, teachers, for responding. Ayan. Siguro, ang ano ko dito, if I can redesign this tab, this worksheet, again, siguro I'll make the pie graph, the pie chart bigger para if I'm anticipating more answers on one side para merong space, no? Ayan. Hindi natin dito yung iba. Ayusin lang natin. Please feel free to help me out, teachers, para mabasa natin yung mga answers natin. Ayun. Okay, so I can see that yung mga tatlong ito yung mga nasa maybe, oops, sige, it's still changing. Sige, go ahead, teachers. You may change the font style, font size, and font color, teachers, but just please don't delete, ha? Although I have another copy of this. Ayan. Ganyan tayo sa klase natin, no? Kapag may activity. Guys, don't delete. Ayan. Alright. So, everyone who answered doon sa part ng yes, your answer is correct. Everything that I can see now, yung mga tasks na minove ninyo going to the yes side is correct. These are things that can be done using the iPad. Okay, but now let's look at some tasks that our fellow teachers answered no and maybe. Ayan. Check natin. Okay, so sige, let's have a countdown yan para ma-synthesize natin tong activity na ito. All right, let's have 15 counts for this activity para i-end natin. All right, teachers, 15 counts. All right, time is up. Ayan. If I'm using a numbers file, a collaborative numbers file like this, what I can do as a teacher is to select everything and lock it. Okay? Actually, pwede ko siyang gawin ngayon. Mhm. I will lock your answers so that you'll not be able to move it anymore. Ayan. Sige nga, teachers, try natin na i-move itong mga elements na nasa screen. Ayan, so hindi na pwede, no? Kasi yung creator noong numbers file ay nilock na niya. Halimbawa ako, yung teacher, nilock ko na. Oops, parang meron pa yata, hindi ako na-lock. Still moving. Or baka delayed lang yung connection ko. Alright. Ayan. So this is a very simple drag and drop activity, tama ka, teacher May Versosa, which you can in fact employ still even if you're using even if you're teaching high school or even if you're teaching in college, kasi diba ano naman to task lang naman ito, it's the content that matters and how you process it. Okay, so let's take a look at the items left on the maybe side. Okay, based on what we can see now on the screen, pwede pa siyang mag-move kasi parang hindi ko po yata na-lock entirely lahat ng elements dito kasi still moving. And still moving up to now. I wonder why. Okay? Sige. So meron tayong answer dito na developing coding skills maybe. Ayan. The answer for this is yes. Okay? Using the iPad, you can actually teach students to learn coding or programming through the Swift Playgrounds. Okay? Meron tayong curriculum actually for Swift Playgrounds which our students can use even self-paced para matuto sila ng basic programming, and later on kung gusto nilang mag-go further, syempre gumamit na ng Xcode para matuto silang gumawa ng mga iOS apps. Yan. So let's move that there, and then it's still moving. Sige, okay lang. Etong apply green screen effect on videos is actually available on the iPad. You can do this on the iPad with the Imovie app. Yan. Yung recent updates sa Imovie already includes green screen application. So hindi na kailangan mag-download or there's no need to purchase an extra app kagaya nung ginagawa natin before. Kahit na dito lang sa libreng Imovie that you have on the iPad, pwede ka na mag-green screen effect. You can create royalty-free musical work. That's a yes. Through Garageband, through Apple Loops, pwede kang gumawa ng mga musical patterns na royalty-free by mixing lang yung mga available na meron doon. Actually, pwede natin yan tingnan mamaya. And hopefully, yung sound ay mag-work. Ayan. So, the answer for that is yes. Oops, nawala na yun nandito. Na dalawa. Okay. And then, this one, connect a USB or an on-the-go OTG drive on the iPad. That's possible. You can also do that on your iPhone. Meron ng mga USB na ang kabilang dulo niya ay Lightning. So, pwede siyang ma-connect. Tapos you can transfer your files na from the iPad going to that on-the-go, yung parang USB po, that I'm telling you now. And then, using the other side naman of that on-the-go thumb drive, you can attach it to your computer para naman matransfer mo yung iyong file. So, that's possible. Ayan. So, ano pa yung meron dito? So, develop coding skills should be in the yes side. Make and edit vlogs. There is a very special app on the iPad called Clips, CLIPS. And that's one of our favorite tools na ginagamit talaga para mag-insert ng mga stickers, mag-insert ng mga text, at mag-apply ng different animation as you create your video. Just like the videos that we normally publish on the social media, sa IG story natin, sa My Day natin, and even in vlogs. That's such a perfect tool for that activity. So mamaya check po natin yung mga yan. So in essence, teachers, lahat ng nilista ko dyan, actually ay yes ang sagot. So tingnan natin, oops, may nag-doble ng ating, okay, tanggalin ko lang to, cheers Okay, sige. So let's move now to getting to know the apps para the task that we just tackled earlier do sa previous tab ay malaman natin, ma-confirm natin kung talagang nagagawa ba talaga yun ng iPad. Okay, so let's go to the next tab, get to know the apps. Okay. Okay, let me show you this native apps that are most frequently used in teaching and learning. Actually, hindi lang ito yun. Marami pa. But of course, we cannot cover everything in just 1.5 hours. Pero if given the chance, we can explore that further. Ayan, so lahat ng mga apps na nakita ninyo dito ay mga apps na native. Ibig sabihin, hindi na siya dina-download sa iPad or sa iPhone. Gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, out of the box, after purchasing one or after getting one from the store or from your provider, and when you open, you set up your iPad, lahat to nandito na agad. Okay, so isa-isahin lang natin to, teachers. I believe that Sir RV, Sir Michael are very much familiar with this already. They've been using the iPad in school for several school years already. Okay, so we have here clock, yung timer, yung camera, yung pangalawa, notes, yung sumunod, and then photos, and then itong nasa baba ng clock ay yung clips, yung binanggit ko sa inyo na panggawa ng mga videos with several stickers, several text na may animation, and several effects, even filters. Sobrang point and shoot lang siya. Sobrang dali lang niyang gamitin. Next to it is this one, the yellow one with the pencil, is called Pages. And Pages is the counterpart of Word and Docs if you're a Google user. Next to Pages is Keynote, which is a presentation tool that is the counterpart of PowerPoint and Google Slides. Okay? And then lastly, the one that we're using right now is this one, itong color green po. The name of this app is Numbers. That is the counterpart of Excel and Google Sheets in the Google Workspace. So, lahat ng tatlong yan, kung sa Microsoft merong MS Office, kung merong Google Workspace, sa Apple naman ang tawag dito ay iWork. Yan yung mga productivity apps ng Apple. Next, on the third row, itong may star, this is called Imovie, and this is where you can produce videos, applying green screen effect, applying split view, yung parang nasa newscast ka, kung saan side by side nitong kayong dalawa nung fellow anchor mo or ng field reporter. That's a possibility using iMovie. Also in iMovie, you can do picture-in-picture. Kanina nakita niyo yun, yung parang may inset dito sa isang side, may maliit na video rito. While the reporter halimbawa is speaking, there is an inset of an image here. You can do that para ka rin nasa TV. Imagine yung kapag merong nag-i-interpret ng sign language, di ba? Madalas natin nakita may naka-inset doon sa screen. You can do that with iMovie. And that's a free app. Next to it is Garageband. Okay? This is what I was telling you about, yung gamit ng Apple Loops, yung paggamit ng mga royalty-free na mga musical patterns. Ayan, pwede kang mag-mix and match dyan dahil, di ba, ang YouTube, strict siya, no? Doon sa copyright, no? So, kung user ka ng Apple, medyo into music ka, pwede kang gumawa ng mga beats na maging musical background mo. And then lastly, this one, the white one, na parang may compass, it's called Safari. It's the built-in internet browser naman, which I'd like to show you later din para ma-compare din natin anong kaibahan niya sa Google Chrome, anong kaibahan niya sa iba pang mga internet browsers available. Alright, so ito yung mga iPad built-in tools na titingnan natin isa-isa. Alright. Ayan, let's begin with the first one. And since ang anticipation nating lahat teachers ay in the near future, no, we are hoping, of course, that we can all go back to the physical classroom. And as Sir Franco has shared with you, even prior to the pandemic, we have been integrating technology na talaga in the class. And one of the most favorite apps na ginagamit ko even prior to the pandemic is the use of clock. Ito yung madalas hindi natin pinapansin sa phone natin o hindi natin pinapansin sa iPad natin kasi nga parang clock lang siya, reference lang sa time, no? Pero ito talaga, ginagamit ko talaga to sa pagtuturo ng pag-manage ng time ng mga students ko. So that on their own, they know when to start and they know when to stop in their tasks. Since lahat naman sila ay naka-gadgets na, like ngayon, yung situation natin lahat ngayon, almost everyone or many of our students, para not to generalize, many of them meron ng mga sariling mga devices. So kung may clock sila doon, let's teach them to make use of it, lalo na yung timer nun, para they can manage their own task. So imagine teachers, kapag bumalik na tayo sa classroom, tapos lahat sila sabihin nila na, teacher, meron na kaming devices. So can we bring it in school? Kasi di ba, meron ka mga online tasks na pinapagawa sa amin. So when it's our schedule to go to school, can we also bring it? Ayan. So to help them further in managing their time, the clock is actually very helpful. Sumunod dyan ay itong app na ang tawag ay Notes. Ang nilagay ko dito, student uses quick notes during data gathering along with other apps. So let me bring you now to Notes. Ayan, wala na naman yung connection. Let me just, all right. Oh. Let's share again. There we go. Saglit lamang po.
Sir Regan, sorry.
Ayan, Sir Franco, thank you. Okay, so punta na tayo ngayon sa isang app na i-explore natin further. Yung Notes, I'm very sure na sa ibang mga devices and other platforms, meron ding Notes app. But let me show you tong kaibahan ng Notes app na meron sa iPad. Okay, so sa babang bahagi ng screen ko, on the lower left portion of the screen, you'll see there sa dock yung notes ko. So, ito yung aking notes. And this is how it looks like. Ayan. And mag-create lang ako ng bagong note. Ayan. So, yung notes app ay the usual notes. Yung kapag gusto mo mag-type habang nakikinig ka sa webinar, halimbawa, or kung meron kang quick list na gustong gawin, ito yon. Okay? But yung Notes app on the iPad is more than that. Okay? Tingnan natin, teachers, yung upper right portion of the screen na makita natin dito. Ayan. So may mga buttons dyan. Explore natin yung isa-isa para makita natin yung power ng Notes app. So first, ay syempre, pwede ka rito mag-type, no? Ng kung ano-ano. Kung ano, ng, halimbawa, KTS Community. Right. So, ayan, basic yan na nagagawa natin sa kahit anong Notes app, di ba? Tingnan natin yung unang tab, unang button do sa upper right corner of the screen. So, you'll see there na nagkaroon siya ng bullet. No? Ito yung panggawa ng mga list. Again, ito ay basic. No? Lagay natin ito, Sir Franco, Sir Jello. Ayan. At lahat ng mga nandito ngayon sa room na ito. And then, meron siyang katabi, yung isang button that looks like a camera, that represents a camera. So if we tap that, it will present to us three options. First is to scan documents. That means that even if you don't have a scanner at home, you don't have yung scanner machine that sa bahay mo, pwede ka na mag-scan dito ng iyong PRC ID kapag hiningi sa school. Pwede ka na mag-scan dito ng iyong mga OR kapag hiningi rin sa school or sa office. O kaya mag-scan ka ng book cover kung kakailanganin para sa klase mo. Let's try to do that. Okay, so tap ko lang po yung scan. And scan ko tong beep card ko na hindi ko pa nagagamit. Wala nang pandemya. Okay, so when you point your iPad on a flat document such as this card, as you can see, merong yellow mark. And it can actually, given the proper lighting, teachers, kung maganda yung ilaw mo, sa akin hindi gaano, at kung perfect yung angle, yan, as you can see, it can actually automatically scan it. Otherwise, you can see the circle on the right side of the screen. You just have to tap that. Ayan. So, ito na siya. And then, what it brings you is this, something that you can adjust. Halimbawa, medyo lukot-lukot yung resibo mo or yung birth certificate mo or yung book na ni-scan mo. You can adjust it here. And then on the lower right portion of the screen, you can see keep scan. So we'll do that, keep scan. And then instantly you have that scanned document already. So meron ng save button dito sa lower right corner. I'll tap that. And then instantly, the scanned document is already inserted in your notes. So imagine your students, as they do a research in the library, halimbawa, kung may in-scan lang silang one page that is relevant to their search, pwede yun. Everything that is relevant to their search, nasa isang notes item lang yun dito. So, hindi na maghihiwa-hiwalay siya. Pero, what's so special about this scan feature of notes is that when you tap this image, teachers, ito na yung scan natin, no? You can edit it further. Halimbawa, medyo hindi malinaw, halimbawa maraming madilim siya masyado, o kaya sobrang liwanag naman niya. On the upper right corner of the screen, you can see there some editing buttons. First, yung crop. Ayan, yung kanina pinakita natin. Done. Sumunod yung pag-add ng filter. So, kung kailangan colored ba siya, kailangan ba black and white siya, or photo-like ba siya yung colors niya. And then, pwede mo siyang i-rotate din. Siyempre, ganoon naman sa scanning, di ba? So, para ka nang merong scanner. Parang meron ka ng scanner. Ayan. And then, next to it, teachers, yung makita nyo sa pinaka-corner, meron diyang kwadrado na merong arrow going up. That's called the share button. If you tap that, teachers, you can instantly share this to your colleagues or to your students via any messaging app that you have in your iPad or via email or through messages. Yan, makita nyo dito. Pwede sa Box, Schoolwork, at sa iba pang Google Classroom kung gumagamit ka nito. Ayan. Pero pwede mo rin siyang, halimbawa, teachers, minsan sabihan di ba tayo na, okay, can you please give me a scanned copy of digital copy of your ID, but please write down your affix your signature. Yan. So, kung ganun ang pinapagawa sa atin, hindi na tayo kailangang magsulat tapos i-upload pa natin yung signature natin. As you can see on the screen, after copy, meron diyang markup. So, markup in Notes allows us to affix our signature. Pero hindi lang siya signature na drawing, kagaya nito. Ayan, baguhin ko yung kulay. Kagaya nito. Ayan. Pwede rin na maglagay ka talaga ng signature using yung plus button dito sa right side. Ayan. So may nakita ka dyan na signature. So, since nakalagay na yung signature ko dito, pwede ko na lang siya, dahil nagawa ko na siya before, pwede ko na lang siyang i-insert. Ayan. Insert ko na lang siya somewhere here. Ayan. So, kung ilang pages man to, mas magiging madali yung work ko. Mas magiging mabilis yung work ko na ma-accomplish. So when I'm done, itap ko lang yung done on the upper left corner of the screen. Ayan. So tapos na ako, done. Ayan. So paano naman teachers kung gusto kong i-share siya pero gusto ko siyang gawing PDF file. Ayan. So yung in-scan mo, normally, di ba, kapag gumamit ka ng scanner, pwedeng image siya, no? So, try natin na i-save to sa files folder ng ating iPad na siguro not everyone knows about the filing system of the iPad. Previously kasi walang filing system na ganito. Ngayon, parang meron na siyang Windows Explorer. That means that you can already organize your files into several folders and subfolders. So, etong save to files, itap ko lang yan, and it will bring me to this. I can save that scanned document inside my local drive in my iPad, but I can also save it in my iCloud drive, parang Google Drive, or pwede ko ring i-connect yung Google Drive account ko sa iPad ko para mas malaki yung storage na meron ako online, kagaya ng meron ako ngayon dito. So, yung seamless talaga na use of different apps, no matter yung difference ng platforms, pwede na ngayon sa iPad talaga siya. Then, I'll just, halimbawa, ito, i-rename ko lang to. Beep card. Ayan. I'll tap done. And then I'll save it. Where will it go? It will go to the folder that I selected earlier. So when we go to the home screen of the iPad, you'll find here yung files folder. Katabi ng mail ko na may 62 mails unopened ako. Ayan, this is the filing system of the iPad. As you can see on the left sidebar, etong ginagalaw ko po ngayon, andyan yung mga destinations, whether inside my iPad, sa local drive ko, or sa mga online storage. Like, eto, meron akong Dropbox, meron akong Google Drive, and of course, meron akong iCloud Drive na merong 5 gig lang yata or 15 gig na free. Ayan. So, andito na siya. Mukha na talaga siyang nag-organize ng files sa computer. I can also rename the files here para it will be easier for me to search it. Ayan, may search bar din siya dito para I can find it anywhere it is located in my iPad. So that's the Notes app. But let's go back to the app again because yung use ng Notes app on the iPad doesn't stop with scanning or just by typing or making bullets or lists. Next to the scanned document would be taking photo. That means that, again, when the students are doing research, if they're interviewing somebody, they can instantly open notes dun sa same notes na ginawa nila related to their research para hindi nag-iiba-iba, hindi nawawala. They can just do a point and shoot video of the one they are interviewing, and it can instantly be here in the same page. Ayan, tama Teacher Connie. Ako rin dati hindi ko yung ginagamit yung mag-scan ng notes. Pero lately, parang mabilisan tayo lahat, di ba? Parang yun na yung nakasanayan natin. So, next to it would be yung sketch, drawing. So, when I tap yung parang may pencil tip doon, yung third button, it showed me tong drawing tool ng iPad. Ayan. So, pwede na akong mag-drawing dito using this. Actually, even if I don't have an Apple Pencil, that's a stylus, or even if I don't have Logitech Crayon, pwedeng gumamit ng ibang stylus sa iPad, one of which is yung Logitech Crayon na compatible with the iPad. But if I don't have any stylus, no problem, I can use my hands to draw. Okay? So, tingnan niyo po natin yung drawing toolbar here sa bottom of the screen, which I can actually move to the side. Depende kapag napuno na yung aking canvas, no? Pero ang maganda dito, meron siyang digital ruler, teachers. So yung digital ruler na to, para siyang ruler talaga na ginagamit mo na pinatong mo sa iPad. Tapos pwede ka mag-draw ng straight lines. So imagine natin yung mga estudyante natin doing their work here na hindi na nila kailangan ng mga additional tools further para i-complete lang yung task natin. Everything is almost here on the iPad. Ayan. So, familiar naman tayo sa toolbar siguro dahil yung ibang mga apps naman may ganito din. Pero, ito talaga na-amaze ako sa ruler na to na kapag tinap yan mawawala. Ayan. So, that's the Notes app. So, nasa isang app pa lang tayo, teachers. Let's go back to our numbers file. Ayan, nasa isang app pa lang tayo. And actually, hindi pa tayo tapos sa notes kasi with the announcement, with the recent release of iOS 15 or iPad OS 15, yung pinakabagong update ng Apple, which by the way is for free kapag nag-update ka ng mga apps sa Apple. Wala siyang bayad. Wala kang kailangang kunin another license. Lahat yun, as long as you're connected to the internet, wirelessly or through cable, kapag naka-Mac ka, pwede mo na yung i-update every time meron. So, one of the latest updates about using notes is the feature called Quick Notes. So, ano ba yung Quick Notes? Ayan. What I did is, I did a swipe using my hand, using my finger, from the bottom right corner of the screen. So, tanggalin ko po yan. So, ayan. So, nag-swipe, going to the center lang ako from the right, lower right corner of the screen, and then binuksan na niya yung Quick Notes. Okay? Ang maganda sa Quick Notes is that while I am using another app, halimbawa, itong numbers ngayon, no? And halimbawa, ito yung bigay na assigned reading ni teacher, I can jot down instant notes here, whether using my hand or my stylus, my Apple Pencil or anything. And then instantly nakakolate ko na siya dito. So anything that is related to the topic assigned to me, for example, lahat yun makakolate ko dito sa iisang lugar lang. And then I can just close it. And then I go to another app. Halimbawa, I go to Safari and then I visit a website. Halimbawa, itong website ng paborito kong website. Punta ako sa GMA News, halimbawa, or any other website. Ayan. So, halimbawa, I have an assignment in class, tapos gusto ko na may pinapahanap si teacher sa amin. Okay? So, while I'm browsing this, syempre marami yan. Pili lang ako ng isa, halimbawa, yung hindi controversial. Parang lahat yata to controversial. Ito na lang, para hindi tungkol sa Pilipinas. Ayan. Halimbawa, this is the relevant article that I found on the internet. Ayan. And then, I found here some excerpts that I think will be helpful to my research. What I can do is that I can open a Quick Notes just by swiping my hand again from the lower right corner of the screen. And then, ito na siya. So, while I'm reading, mapipili ko na yung pwede kong i-copy and paste dito. Pero what's good about this integration is that, halimbawa, itong, sige, pili ako halimbawa, itong paragraph na ito yung gusto kong i-lift from from this article, as you can see on the options, teachers, makita mo yung huling option, add to quick note. So if I choose that, instantly, andito na siya with the link. Kinopy-paste niya yung sinelect ko na text, na paragraph, and it also attaches yung link to that website. Para when I need to go back to it again, all I need to do is to go to my notes. Ibig sabihin, sa data gathering talaga sobrang helpful nito. At sobrang nagustuhan ko talaga siya. You can also do this if you're assigning an activity to your class involving maps, streets, halimbawa. So, as you can see here, sa isang ayan, meron akong South Supermarket, yan. Kanina, I opened my Maps app and then I just selected a pin there. Tapos, in-add ko lang siya dito sa aking Notes app. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga estudyante natin is no longer limited to researching in websites, di ba? Parang they can actually go to several other apps to explore and add related data to their research. So that's Quick Notes. Sobrang ganda niya. As in, ayan, so nasa isang app pa lang tayo, cheers. Punta tayo sa sumunod na app. Pinag-bundle ko na siya. Okay, next would be ito. Normally, when students use photos, camera, student captures and edit photos using the same device. Okay, so pang ano lang siya, pangkuha ng larawan, pang-edit ng larawan. Pero ang madalas na pinapagawa namin dito kapag pinapagamit namin sila ng camera and ng photos ay ito. Okay, let me just go to the Photos app. Yung camera, familiar sa atin to, teachers, no? Siyempre may video, photo, slow-mo, yan. Sa mga phones natin, I'm sure meron pa nga mga phones na mas advanced pa dito. Time-lapse yan, pinapagawa natin sa mga bata. No? Pero let's focus on an app directly associated to it, which is Photos. Ayan. Yung Photos app sa iPad looks like this. It also has a sidebar on the left, which allows you to easily locate your materials. And on the right side, of course, the preview of your photos. So let me just show you some of the photos na pinapagawa namin sa class. Ayan. Punta lang po ako sa library. Then I will look for yung mga ginawa namin dito. Ayan, okay. So, ang gusto kong ipakita dito sa photos ay yung pag-annotate ng photos. Kasi, syempre, sa klase natin, hindi naman talaga kailangan na sobrang highly technical yung pinapagawa. Again, yung processing ng learning experience matters more than that. So, tingnan natin itong simpleng gawain na ito. Ito yung isang photo na tinake ko using my camera. I use a high angle here to portray na yung spray bottle ko ay smaller than the audience. Gusto ko na parang maliit siya, parang kawawa, parang humble. So again, some skills that we may share with our students even in the simple task of taking photos. So when we tap this, you will see on the upper right portion of the screen, edit. What we will do is we will annotate, we will mark this up. Okay, aside from itong brightness, yung filters, yan, yung usual natin ginagawa sa mga photos natin, there's another way of using photos as a learning material. So as you can see on the upper right portion of the screen, there's a pencil tip. Ayan, i-off ko lang yung live photo nito kasi naka-live photo siya. Again, it will show me yung drawing toolbar that's already familiar to us. So sa iPad, when we say annotating, marking up, ito yung same toolset na ibibigay sa atin para hindi nalilito yung mga estudyante. So what we can do here is we can actually draw on it. Okay? So depende if, for example, we're asking our students to create memes or we like them to come up with with posters, o kaya we like them to create a comic strip, yan, they can do that through marking up. Ito yung pinagawa ko sa isang Learning with iPad class na ginawa namin recently. Ayan. Ito yung mga ginawa nila. So halimbawa, you have lessons in Filipino or in English, you like them to apply halimbawa sentence pattern o kaya naman mga tamang paggamit ng pandiwa, at kung ano pang mga kasanayan sa komunikasyon, pwede natin magamit yan. If you're also teaching mathematics and you like them to explore physical spaces at home or wherever they are, you like them to identify polygons or angles, halimbawa, you want them to measure that, you want them to check whether a certain cake, a certain size of the cake will fit in the refrigerator, finding out the volume of that space inside the refrigerator, you can ask them to demonstrate that skill using annotation, using markup, kagaya nitong mga nakita natin. Yan, gagawin mo. Ito ay personified objects. So gusto namin na gawing tao, pagsasa tao, gawin nating tao yung mga inanimate objects so that if they could speak, ano kaya yung sasabihin nila given a certain topic. Ayan. So kung meron tayong mga lessons sa science, baka pwede rin itong ma-apply natin para we can also develop the skill of imagination amongst our students and go deeper, give further meaning to the things that we do, even in simple things like things that they see around them in the physical space, while integrating, of course, digital tools as you can see here. So, yan yung mga ginawa natin sa photos. Ayan. Siyempre, marami kang pwedeng gawing iba pang mga version noon, no? Pwede mo silang paggawin ng photo walk, kaya pwede mong baguhin yung mga instructions mo to give them greater challenge. Halimbawa, I'd like you to capture 3 photos. I'd like you to tell me a story through 3 photos. I'd like you to select 5 ganito. You just have to give them the specifics of your instructions para it will fit into your lesson. So ano siya, marami siyang pwedeng laruin, teachers, kahit na simple lang yung task. Again, when we do tech integration, doesn't have to be always yung highly technical. Hindi kailangang matuto sila ng sobrang mga bigat na application, especially when we're teaching the young ones, no, yung sa grade school or sa grade 7, grade 8, given the tasks that they already have in different subject areas, let's make their lives a little easier lang by giving them simple tasks, yet deeper meaning. Okay, so next set of apps would be itong Clips, itong Garageband, and Imovie. These 3 are called creativity apps. Itong mga to yung nag-develop naman, nag-encourage sa mga students natin to hone their creativity sa music, o kaya sa video production, o kaya sa animation, pwede rin, no? So, ito yung skill na nilagay ko. Yung students, they can communicate their creativity through these apps. And let's look at these one by one. Okay, so I'll go first to Clips. Again, Clips is a free app. In older iPads, you need to download it. But sa mga bagong iPad, I think it's already there. Okay, so as you can see on the screen right now, teachers, meron lang konting buttons here. Okay, so meron diyang pink na bar. That's the record button. If I press that, hold on to it, it will record. As you can see, run na yung video natin. So, pwedeng point and shoot ito. And then, that will convert that clip, that video clip, into a clip. As you can see on the bottom part of the screen, meron siyang maliit na square doon na kita yung microphone ko. So, that's a clip. That's why it's called Clips. But you can enhance that clip further. Yan, tinap ko lang yon, yung nasa baba, teachers, by adding effects. So, ano yung mga effects na yan? Itong mga makita natin sa screen ngayon. Let's tap effects. And As you can see, pwede tayo mag-add ng filter. Siyempre, filter, familiar na sa atin yan. Pero next to filter is live titles. Ayan. As you can see on the screen, teachers, yung live titles, if your student is reporting or speaking, yung sinasabi niya ay nakikita mo in text, natatranslate into text dyan sa screen mo using clips. Kung nanonood kayo ng KMJS, madalas yung dating mga videos nila ganyan eh. Habang nagsasalita si Jessica sa screen, lumilitaw yung mga sentences or words na sinasabi niya. So ito, live title siya. Pero ito ay English lang yung nare-recognize niya. So while capturing the video, live lalabas yung mga titles na yun, pero recorded. Okay? Next to it would be itong text. So tingnan na natin yung mga stickers na to na meron. So, pag tinap mo yung mga yan, pupunta yan sa screen mo, yung kaninang ginawa mo. Tapos, pwede mo siyang i-move around. Yan. Kung saan part of the screen mo siya gustong ilagay. So, imagine if you're creating a newsroom, pictures, pwede mong baguhin yung lumalabas dyan while the student is recording, making a recording. Tapos, itong mga stickers na yan, pwede mong pagalawin yan habang gumagalaw yung video habang nag-play yung video. So that's marami pa siya. Pwede niyo explore yan kapag kung meron kayong devices na ito. Even sa iPhone, it's also available. Alright, another effect is itong stickers. Yung kanina pala text yun. So syempre yung mga estudyante natin, they're very fond of using this. If halimbawa your students are not allowed to check on their social media during class, but you want them to create presentations similar to the ones posted on social media, you can make use of clips. Kagaya nito. Ayan. So, yung mga bata talagang mahilig sila sa ganito. Kahit marami pa yung gumagalaw-galaw on the screen. So, play natin to. Ayan. So parang ganyan yung mga My Day natin, no? Yung mga Instagram story natin. So without giving them access or allowing them to check Instagram or Facebook or Messenger, they can actually create similar videos kagaya nito. And this is just one application, sirs. So tap ko lang natin to. So yan. So dito rin, halimbawa mahaba yung clip na na-record mo, may trim din dito, trim feature yan. So para ka nag-trim ng video sa phone mo. Yan. Select mo lang yung part na gusto mong tanggalin or gusto mong include sa project mo. Ayan. So that's trim. And all the other tools here, pwede mong explore yan, like duplicate and many others. When you're done, you just save your clip and it will save your project into your photo roll, sa iyong photos, and then you can share it via email or send it via messaging apps kung ano yung preference or ano yung instruction ng teacher. So that is clips. Sobrang fun nito, nitong clips na ito. Next is, lumundag tayo after nitong clips. Doon muna tayo sa pangatlo, itong may star. Ito ay tinatawag na Imovie. Okay, I look for Imovie here. The first time I saw Imovie, sobrang namangha ako. Nakala ko ginawa to ng isang professional yung video na napanood ko. Pero yun pala, marami palang templates sa Imovie na ganun din pala, na ikamamangha ko din. And so these are the new updates in Imovie given iPadOS 15 or iOS 15 on your iPhone. Just press continue. Okay, so let's check one of these examples done by the other teachers during our trainings with them. Let's see this one. Sayong Song. If you're from Surigao, you should know Sayong Song. Ayan. So lahat ng text na yan ay madali lang ilagay sa iMovie. Hindi pala ito yung trailer, no? Sige, pili tayo ng trailer, cheers. Ayan, ito yung sinasabi ko na parang Hollywood type na talagang nakakamangha. Ayan, panoorin natin itong isa. Ayan, this effect is actually just a template. You can change that text dito lang din, right in your iPad. Ito rin, video na yan, papalitan mo lang drag and drop. You can even create a same-day edit video if you're holding parties. Halimbawa sa weddings din, no? Kung gusto niyo makatipid, pwede kayong gumawa nito. Point and shoot lang. As in, right after, pwede mo na i-project sa projector. Tapos mapapakita na agad ng lahat ng bisita. Ayan, mapapalitan mo yung video na yan. Itong mga to, yan. I-pan mo lang yan doon sa mga bisita, doon sa ikinasal, halimbawa sa may birthday. Yung text na pinakita kanina, you can change that to the names of the celebrant or names of the couple. Ayan, yan yung sinasabi ko. And actually, it looks like this, teachers. Ayan, this is what I was telling you earlier. So there's an outline already, and all you have to do is to fill this out. Customize it according to your project. And there's already a storyboard here. I was telling you about pointing and just shooting it right away, creating a same-day edit, on-the-day video for events. Ayan na yun. Ito yung mga yun. Ayan. And then, all the text in between. Ayan, yung studio mo, pwede mong gawing studio mo to. Ayan. Halimbawa, teacher Franco Films. Yan. So as you can see, as I type it, yung preview dun sa kaliwa, yan na siya. Teacher Franco na agad na merong Hollywood style na effect. Ayan. So madali lang siya. You can have more time to explore this if you have opportunities in the future. But aside from these trailers, I was earlier dun sa activity natin kung saan minove ninyo yung mga tasks, no? You can create a full-length movie here. And makita ninyo dito, sobrang dali lang ng interface. It's not intimidating at all kasi minimal lang siya. Hindi siya yung sobrang daming alimbang pipindutin ko dito, no? So we can insert a video here. Kita mo agad video. So, halimbawa, you have this video there. And so, may plus, may play. Yan siya. So, pinlas ko lang siya. In-add ko lang siya dito, yung video na ito. Tapos, kanina, meron pang tayong pinakita na green screen effect o kaya split view or merong picture-in-picture kanina. So, meron akong isa pang video halimbawa that I like to combine with another video. Halimbawa, ito. Ayan. So, as you can see, since there's an existing video already, there's another option here na merong plus. Ay, sorry. Undo ko lang siya. Undo. There's an ellipsis that will give you several options. And ito yung mga yun. Halimbawa, picture-in-picture, teachers. Let's see what it does. So, ang ginawa niyang inset. Ito, teachers. Ginawa niyang inset yung video na in-embed ko, which I can resize and which I can put in any place inside the video. Okay? So, iyan siya. Tanggalin lang natin. And let me show you another effect here. Tinap ko lang yung tatlong dot. Let's try split screen. Let's see what effect it will show us. So from this part, makita nyo na split yung screen. So while one video is playing on one side, the other video can be played on the other side as well. And pwede mo siyang i-export as a full movie. So that's split screen. Let me just delete this and then show you another one. I'll tap the ellipsis again, yung more button. I'll show you green or blue screen. Tap ko lang yan dyan. Okay. So anong gagawin nito? Dahil wala akong green screen na ginamit dito sa mga to, ang mangyayari dyan, dapat meron akong green, no? Ano po ang green? Ayan. Ayan. So ang green na yan, dapat kailangan meron kang green video rin sa baba para mag-take effect yan. So mangyayari, yung nasa taas, siya na yung magiging main video mo, ang background mo na yun nasa baba. So kailangan, pwede akong gumamit ng cartolina. When I was teaching, I just use green cartolina, and then I just use tape para i-attach yan. Pwede din akong gumamit ng medyo nasanay na ng konti. Gumamit na ako ng tela na kulay green, which I bring to class every time we perform the same activity. So lahat ng pwedeng gamitin ng hindi naman kailangan gumastos. Sa totoo lang, I did not buy the app. It's a free app. Ang binili ko lang yung green cartolina or kaya yung green na tela, which I can use for several school years already, which I have done when I was in school still. So that's Imovie app. And then next to it is Garageband app. Ayan. So yung Garageband naman, tong merong gitara. I'll just show this to you. Hanapin natin yung Garageband. Yung Garageband naman, ang common notion about Garageband is that it's only for those who are musically inclined. Yung mga, kasi nga, unang release itong Garageband sa iPad, yung ang mas kilala lang yung pwede akong mag-play dyan ng guitar kahit na hindi yung gitara totoo, or mag-play ng piano, mag-play ng drums. That you can still do on the iPad with GarageBand. But what's amazing about the developments in GarageBand is that meron na siyang tinatawag na Apple loops. Kagaya nito. Ayan. So you have several instruments here. I was telling you about creating royalty-free musical patterns. Ito yung mga yon, yung pwede mong gawing background pagkatapos sa halimbawa sa video mo if you're creating recorded lectures for your students. So lahat ng to, kahit na hindi ka marunong mag-play ng instruments na yan, you can just tap this randomly. Ayan. Tapos ay pwede mong export na to sa music file. Tapos i-insert mo na lang doon sa iyong presentation or insert mo na lang doon sa iyong video para hindi ka na kailangan mag-worry about copyright kasi nga lahat to ay pwede mong gamitin, lalo na for educational use. So yung Apple loops and many others in GarageBand, we can explore that given more time, as I've said, dahil we only have limited time today. So yan yung live loops, marami siyang mga packages na libre. Ayan. Pero ito yung binabanggit ko kanina na usual nating alam about GarageBand. Ayan. Pero syempre kung hindi ka into music, no, parang hindi mo naman bubuksan ito. Pero if you are a teacher who's fond of assigning tasks that involve voice recording, for example, if you are asking them to create a podcast or create a radio show, yan, pwede to. Because they can also insert effects here, as I've shown you earlier. So, eto, dali lang siya eh. It's just record stop lang siya. Ayan, as you can see on the screen right now, you just have to point your iPad towards you when you are recording your voice, or you can also apply several effects here, like the ones that you can see on the screen. Yan, yung mga favorite natin, chipmunk, yan, pwedeng baguhin o gawing robot yung boses mo, pwede yan, or monster, or habang naka-microphone or naka-megaphone ka, yan, para ganun yung effect ng sound mo, you can do that. And given more time, again, I can teach you how to create your radio show doing this, with this, again, free app. Thank you, Teacher Mary Joy, and Hitesh for your comments. Yes, in fact, really, I've been saying, given more time, we can really explore more about this iPad, and you'll be amazed really about the several free features that the iPad offers. Kasi nga hindi pa natin talaga na-explore, no? So let's go now to the productivity apps that are available on the iPad. Actually, before I used to call these productivity apps, and I always equate this, parallel this to MS Office. But now I'm very much fond of using these apps as creativity tools as well. Bakit? Kasi I know that these apps can actually encourage more than just typing or word processing, more than just creating slideshows or slide presentations, and doing tallying and creating charts and tables in spreadsheet. Kasi sobrang dami pa niya talagang pwedeng gawin dito. So let's go now to, for example, Pages, which is the counterpart of MS Word. Okay, let me just create a new document here. Syempre, just like in MS Word, no, you have several templates that you can use here. But let's use the blank one here. Okay. My favorite part of using Pages as a word processor is the thumbnail feature. Kasi it allows me to easily navigate into the different pages of my document. So, ibig sabihin, hindi ko na kailangan mag-scroll up ng matagal, scroll down ng matagal. And what's beautiful about these three apps is that, again, very minimal yung user interface nito. As you can see, you will notice later, they are using the same buttons for these apps across the apps kasi gusto nila familiar na yung user, hindi na siya mag-aaral ulit ng bago. And I just tap the plus, the add button here. And as you can see on the screen, the usual photo, camera, record audio. If I record myself, tingnan ninyo, meron lang siyang isang button that is record. And if I need to stop, isang button lang din, stop. And then it will show me if I want to edit it or not. Or if I want to insert it on the upper right corner of the screen, you see there insert. Okay? So ayan na yung na-record ko. I can place it on my document already. So if my students are not fond of writing, if they can express themselves more meaningfully via speaking, then baka pwede kong gawing option ito. Okay? So let's record audio. What's also awesome about the latest updates and Pages is this, yung web video. Diba nagpapalagay tayo ng mga, madalas tayo nagpapakolate tayo ng mga videos sa mga bata, no? Or tayo, when we create our learning materials, we give them a list of links to watch, for example, or to read, no? So itong web video allows us to, halimbawa, I'll go to YouTube. Itong inserting web video allows us to instantly collect relevant, halimbawa, ito. Ayan. Copy ko lang yung link na to. Di ba normally copy, paste natin yan, inililista natin siya. Pero dito sa Pages, you can paste the URL here and it will create the thumbnail for you. Let's insert that. And there you go. The whole video is already here. Diba? So, hindi ko na kailangan i-download yung video sa kanina. Ang gagawin lang natin, copy lang natin yung URL, tapos ipipaste natin sa document. It's already here. So, what I have right now is, I have an audio recording, and then I have a web video link that is playable. Of course, given that I am connected to the internet. Alright? So, it's there. Another one, that's web video. Try natin yung drawing sa baba. If I tap drawing here, it will bring me a drawing space na pwede kong sulatan, okay, or drawingan. So if I'm doing a digital worksheet for my students, I want them to answer on the actual digital worksheet, then I can make use of drawing here. which I can move around the document. And ay lang yung ma-move ngayon, pero it should be able to be moved to anywhere inside your document. So, halimbawa, meron akong pinaste dito na insect, halimbawa, tapos gusto kong ipa-identify sa mga students ko yung parts of the insect. So, pwede yan, no? On top of the document, they will draw. Ayan. Para doon na sila mismo. They are actually interacting with the material that you created for them. Okay? So, that's these are some of the features of Pages as a word processor. So word processor siya pero puro multimedia yung pinakita natin today. So what's more about Pages? When we tap these three buttons here, upper right corner of the screen, you'll see that more button. It's called the more button. You'll be able to share or export the file that we have. Okay? Pero let's take a look at the export file formats available on the iPad. As you can see here, there's the usual PDF flat document. That means that when you have an audio recording, when you have a video there, or an animation, you cannot play that with PDF kasi flat siya. If your colleagues or your students are using Windows computers, you can export this file to a Word document so they can open it also. And vice versa. If they send you an MS Word document, you can open it with Pages. So no worries about, ay, naka-Apple ako eh, ay, naka-Microsoft ako eh. So, pwede yun kapag na-explore mo na siya. So, it's easy here. But the third one is something that I really like because it actually allows you to create an ebook in EPUB format. That is the universal file format for most ebooks. So, kung si teacher gusto niya mag-publish ng ebooks niya sa Apple Books, pwede just by using Pages. So, yung mga ginawa ninyong mga modules actually ay pwede niyong gawa ng digital portfolio, digital multi-touch book, kagaya nito. Multi-touch kasi iba-ibang senses yung ginagamit mo eh. Diba? You're not just reading the ebook, but you can actually listen to the ebook and you can also watch and even interact with the ebook, diba? Pwede sila mag-drawing din sa ebook. So, it's a multi-touch book. So, napakadami. Ito nga, pwede mo pang i-animate tong drawing na to eh. Pwede mong pagalawin pa yan. Ayan, no, animate drawing. Ayan, so, pag pinlay natin yung drawing, makita nyo gumagalaw siya. Play drawing. Ayan. So, if I'm teaching my students handwriting, for example, or if calligraphy, halimbawa, so yung mga strokes na yan, pwede mong pakita. O kaya naman, if you're trying to demonstrate the traffic flow, no, given an image of the street view, halimbawa, kunin mo yung screenshot mo lang yung maps, halimbawa, i-paste mo lang yun dito, tapos i-drawingan mo sa traffic flow, no, makita mo, mapapademonstrate mo sa kanila, o ikaw mismo as a teacher can show them yung traffic flow halimbawa. So again, it's a matter of imagination and using several free apps on the iPad. Hindi kailangan gumastos. So that's Pages. Let's go now to Keynote, which is the counterpart of PowerPoint. Actually, yung iba, PowerPoint pa rin yung tawag dito sa Keynote. Pero again, they are both presentation tools as well as yung Google Slides, di ba? Pare-pareho sila. When I create my materials, lahat yung tatlo nilalagay ko. Create a presentation using Keynote or PowerPoint or Slides. So any of those, wherever you are comfortable, pwede mong gamitin yan. So this is Keynote and it looks very familiar to us because it involves slides na meron sa PowerPoint. And if you will see the types of media that we can insert it, again, pareho siya rin sa Pages, no? Pero ang na-add lang dito, teachers, ay with the latest update of iOS 15, iPadOS 15, as you can see, after record audio, there is live video. Okay, so if we tap live video here, as you can see, teachers, pwede na ngayon akong gumawa ng presentation ko for my students na makikita pa rin nila ako while I am explaining the concepts, while I am explaining the processes on this certain slide. Okay, so as you can see here, pwede ko pang baguhin yung shape niyan. Style. Ayan. Reflection. Live video. Ayan, ito pala yun, yung shape. Ayan, as you can see, medyo meron siyang round corners, and I can place it anywhere in my document. So yung Keynote as a presentation tool keeps on developing. Hindi siya basta guide lang para rin sa lesson natin. So kagaya nito, if you're using Zoom or if you're using Google Meet, no? Na minsan problema natin, hindi ko nakita yung sarili ko habang nag-present. Ayan, ito na yun. Ayan. So while I am presenting, I can see myself para mas nag-guide ako. So, ayan siya. Pero yung isa na hindi natin masyadong pakita kanina ay yung animation. Ayan. So if I tap here, plus, add drawing, KTS, ayan. If I want to animate this, for example, ayan, drawing, tap ko lang to, i-animate ko siya, mag-add ako ng action line draw, for example. Ayan, pwedeng mabagal, pwedeng mabilis, depende sa settings na inilagay ko. Ayan, so, given more time, again, we can do more about Keynote. Sobrang dami pa niyang features. So, these are the productivity tools in Keynote. And again, just like in Pages, in Keynote, you can also export it to a PPTX file. Okay, and when you receive a PPTX file, you can open it with Keynote. Okay, and of course, in Keynote, you can just like in MS PowerPoint, you can export your presentation into a movie. So, pwede siya maging video file, or you can also export the slides. Pwedeng selected, pwedeng entire slides into images. Yan, para ma-convert mo siya. Last na tayo, teachers. Time check is 7:01. Let's go to Safari, which is the built-in internet browser on the iPad. So let's go to Safari now. Earlier, I opened a news website, which is GMA News Online. Okay, so generally, ito familiar na sa atin itong internet browser, but generally, teachers, sa mga news websites, so when we assign activities to our students here, madalas we are bombarded with several elements inside the page, no? Makita natin dito, sobrang dami. May mga video na hindi naman kailangan, pero naghahanap lang naman tayo ng isang article dito. So, anong magandang gawin, teachers? Halimbawa, ito. Ayan. Inopen ko yung isa. Inopen ko po yung isang article here in GMA News Online. Again, dami nang pa-pop out, no? So parang for a student or for a researcher, parang nakahilo to pag sobrang dami na. There is a reader view available on the iPad's Safari browser. As you can see on the address bar, yan, sa left side may letter A na maliit, may malaking letter A. Pag tinap mo po yan, pwede po nating makita yung reader view. Pero hindi gumagana rito. Ayan. So, tinap ko yung reader view. Ang ginawa niya, in-eliminate niya lahat all the other elements that are not relevant to my research. Because my task is only to read the article, di ba? I don't need to see the other ads there, especially. So, ang maiiwan lang dito ay yung article na kailangan ko. So, I'm using Safari, and earlier I showed you quick notes. So, while the student's doing research, and again, if and when he or she finds a relevant article, when the student opens quick notes, pwede niya agad i-copy and paste ito. And when the student copies and pastes this part of the the article, pati yung link noong website ay ilalagay niya. Ayan. Ito, add link. Yun, may shortcut na pala. Ayun. So, nandun na agad siya. So, it makes the life of the student or the researcher easier and more comfortable to the eyes with that. Again, accessibility is one of Apple's priorities. So, kung may mga students na nahihirapang magbasa dahil colorblind sila or nearsighted or farsighted sila or any other visual challenges, merong mga, I think, in another episode in KTS, together with Sir Jello, we showed it to you. Pwede niyong baguhin yung settings nito so that it will be more comfortable for the reader when you make use of Safari. Ayan, hide natin yan. So when you hide it, balik na ulit yung mga ads na hindi natin kailangan. Ang maganda rin dito about Safari, last na, is there is a share button here on the upper right corner of the screen beside the address bar. When you tap that, you can instantly send the link through your instant messaging apps or via email or paste it in your Google Classroom. But you can also convert this web page into a PDF file which you can mark up just like what I have demonstrated to you earlier. So when you choose markup here, it will convert the web page into a PDF file, and it brings you again the same drawing tools that you can use to annotate. So while the student is doing research again, or for example, your students submitted to you these files, you can instantly draw on it using this toolbar. Okay? There you go. So these are the tools, built-in tools that actually are very much helpful given that we find time to explore them. Yan. Tanggalin ko lang po ito isa. So we go now to integration ideas, and this one I can leave to you given your the respective subject areas that you are teaching in. You may want to start imagining how these apps that we have covered today could be applied to your subject area. So that actually completes our our session this afternoon. We can take a class picture if you have cameras on, teachers. But there are more to the iPad, as I have said. Time is never enough to explore these amazing applications. The Maps has a lot to offer to us. Reminders app is very much helpful to the one owning the iPad, as well as Calendar, which can be integrated into the different calendars that we have. If you're using Google Calendar, no problem. You can still use that with your iPad's calendar, with your iPad device. Okay, so I have an activity here which you can do even after this session. This is called I Used to Think, Now I Think, which is I think is perfect for those who just discovered the things that we have covered today. What did you used to think about the iPad? And what do you think about the iPad now that some, not all, some of the things have been presented to you already? So let's go back to our lesson objectives. I hope that tonight, as we end this session, you were able to appreciate the iPad as a mobile learning device, something that your students can bring anywhere as they learn, something that you can bring anywhere as you plan your teaching. I hope that you by now have appreciated the iPad as a computer na grabe kompleto pala siya, no? And lastly, I hope that by this time, you now appreciate the iPad's built-in productivity and creativity tools for learning. There's really a lot about the iPad, and kaya siya mahal, teachers, because lahat nandoon na. After that, wala ka nang bibilhin pa. Ayan. Alright, so let me stop my screen sharing here, and if you have questions, let's take a look at the comments section, Sir Franco.
Yes, no, sabi ko sa inyo teachers, no, there's so much more to it, no, than just kasi Sir Regan, no, syempre, just to siyempre no, 'pag tinignan siya siyempre yung iPad meron siyang in a way very exclusive kasi yung perspective sa iPad, eh, because of the price, because of the brand, no, okay? But as we can see teachers, so nakita po natin, okay? That's why we insisted on this session, is that we can see the beauty, the power of, the iPad, no, and plus, okay, it's never just about the price, no, it's about the investment, kaya sabi nga ni Sir Regan kanina, no, you're also buying all of the apps in it, no? At wala ka nang bibilhin, kaya wala ka ng add-on, wala ka ng iba pang mga applications na kailangang i-purchase pa, no? Or mga licenses or subscriptions. Even your updates, no, is free. Hindi mo kailangan magbayad, no, over and over again para mag-update ka ng mga tools mo, no? That's also what iPad brings you. Perhaps siguro for Sir Regan, no, I think the best thing that iPad gives, no, to education is the mobility. Okay? Yung mobility ng device. Okay? That learning can actually happen. Lalo na ngayon, nasa pandemic tayo, no, in a distance learning modality, no. Your students can easily move around the house, okay, go to some areas. Of course, not so much, okay, pero you just imagine, no, if after the pandemic, no, how powerful these tools could become. Okay? So it could definitely be a good investment, okay, something to think about. Okay? For those who are already using, I can see a lot of teachers, no, reacting in the chat kanina about discovering new things, okay, even after being an iPad user. Okay? So teachers, meron na po tayong time for questions, concerns, okay, or meron po kayong mga insights, okay, that you'd like to share, okay? Yan, no, puro pasasalamat ngayon sa chat ang ating natatanggap, no. For those baka meron po tayong mga tanong, let's maximize the time that we have an expert with us, no, Sir Regan, okay, who's always here, no, to share his time and knowledge to all of us, okay. So far wala pa akong nakita. Okay. Okay, okay. So far Sir Regan wala, no. Pasasalamat yung mga nakita ko ngayon sa chat, no. Pero siguro ako I have a like curious question, kay especially for for iOS device, iOS tools, okay. Syempre pagdating sa sa natin, sa different devices, sir, no, if you're going to recommend, no, any of the Apple products, no, when it comes to learning, okay, what would it be and why? Okay, because of course we have Mac, okay, we have iPad, okay, iPhone could also be, no, definitely, no, it's as powerful as any other Mac device. But if it comes to learning, and if we're going to invest, okay, especially for example for our children, for our own, no, as teachers, okay, what would that device be and why?
We always recommend, Sir Franco, for students yung iPad, na basic, okay. Ngayon ang basic iPad would refer to the iPad 9th generation. Okay? Of course, maganda yung iPad Pro, maganda yung iPad Air, maganda yung iPad Mini because of some features na meron siya physically or in the device. Pero for practical reasons, we recommend halimbawa ngayon yung iPad 9th gen or yung previously iPad 8th gen because of its pricing. Kasi nga yun yung pinakamura, and sa totoo lang pag tinignan mo lahat ng mga ng iPad, pare-pareho naman kasi ng features and functions yan, no. Kaunti lang sa mga pinakita kong apps, walang nababago po doon, teachers. Yung paggamit mo ng stylus, walang nababago. May ruler pa rin doon sa pinakamurang iPad. Lahat yun doon. So, kung gusto naman ng teacher na meron siyang isang stable device, we recommend naman yung MacBook Air na 256 gigabytes kasi yun din, it also gives you enough storage and also gives you the flexibility of bringing it anywhere because of its light weight. And also, kung ang mga major task mo lang naman ay not so much on heavy video editing, like you just need to browse and keep a record of your students' works, which are normally stored naman in your Google Drive, di ba? Pwedeng-pwede na yung MacBook Air. Let me tell you a story. Halos pareho kami ni Sir Franco kasi yung MacBook Air ko ay noong 2014 pa, and I'm still using it right now. And ngayon ay 2021 na, ilang years na po yan na gumagana. So when I purchased it before, I thought it was a big investment. But then I realized today, after ilang years na, 7 years, 8 years of using it and still working so fine, parang grabe kinawawa ko yata yung MacBook Air ko. Parang ako yung naawa sa kanya. Again, earlier I said that my iPad 6th gen is already 3 years old, going 4 years na. And still, it's still updated up to the latest update, yung iOS 15. Pati lahat ng mga apps na pinakita ko sa inyo, ito po yung gamit ko kanina. Pwede itong tumapat sa iPad Pro, pwede itong tumapat sa iPad Air. So being practical lang.
Yes, again, no? Oo. Babalik ulit tayo doon sa laging pinag-uusapan nila. It's about your learning objectives, about your imagination. Are you going to use it? Okay? Of course, merong konting leverage kapag mas maganda yung hardware, pero that should not, no? Should not be like an impediment to you using the full extent of the iOS tools. Kaya ako, Sir Regan, before ako mag-retire, no? Kasi now I'm using a MacBook Pro, yung M1 chip natin ngayon. Okay? Pero before ako magpalit nito, no, I have my MacBook for 10 years. Okay? I got that for 2010, no, and then retired lang yan last year lang, no, bago matapos yung pandemic. Swerte lang may nag-sponsor na ng bagong laptop, no, kaya nakakuha. Pero otherwise, I would have like used that for a longer time pa. Okay, kasi gumagana pa rin siya. Charger lang ang nasira doon sa ano ko, sa device ko. Okay.
Pareho
Still,
tayo.
naka-box pa siya ngayon. Yes, naka-box pa siya ngayon and could be revived anytime soon. Okay? So,
Alam mo,
yan,
sir,
Sir Regan, maraming... Yes, go ahead,
thank
Sir
you.
Regan.
Sorry, isingit ko lang. Alam nyo, currently kasi I'm using, dahil ako sobrang practical lang at hindi ko afford yung sobrang mahal na, na Apple devices kahit na I'm into this field. I'm using right now an M1 Mac Mini computer. Kasi teachers, if you have existing keyboards with you, existing monitor, I'm using yung, alam niyo kung magkano lang po yung Mac Mini, less than 40,000 pesos. Pero itong ginagamit ko ngayon, ito siya, sobrang bilis niya at kahit mag-edit pa ako dito ng video, kayang-kaya niya. At mas mura pa siya sa MacBook Air. Naku, nag-promote yata.
Sir Regan,
lagot ako.
highly recommended. Yan din ang kinuha kong device para sa ano ko, para sa daughter ko. Instead of like in getting a laptop, no, naisip ko dahil nag-offer yung school ng Savior School ng purchase, no, for Mac Mini, yun ang kinuha ko. At sobrang best decision in getting this. Sobrang bilis, sobrang ganda.
Agreed.
And then of course, no, yes, yung screen, hindi naman sobrang kamahalan yung screen at saka yung keyboard, saka mouse, okay na yun. Sobrang worthy. Tsaka mura. Sobrang mura niya.
Mura.
Compared to
Mura siya.
buying a laptop. Yes.
Pero performance-wise, di ba?
Yes, performance-wise. Mas mabilis. Yes, mas mabilis pa actually. Sa ibang sa actual laptop, no?
Totoo.
And anyway, Sir Regan, may question dito from Teacher Nicole Rose Malapo. Sir, for my MacBook Air po, service recommend na po ang battery. Should I save muna my documents before bring it po sa service center? Medyo practical na question to Sir Regan.
Si Teacher Nicole, i-save mo muna yan. Pero best yan na masasagot ng mga technical engineers namin. Actually, nandito yung isang technical engineer namin, si Ronald. Pero please save it muna before bringing it to the service center. And if you'd like to contact our service center, I'll give you the details later.
So yun, teachers, no, of course, ano pa rin, safe pa din, no? Regardless kung ano, ayun, may sagot na si Sir Ronald, ang bilis. May service support pa
may
tayo.
May backup pala ako dito.
Yes, may backup. Okay, maraming salamat, Sir Regan. Okay, for that, no, i-flash natin yung sagot ni Sir Regan. According to Sir Regan, yes po ma'am, should back up all your files and bring it to the nearest Apple service center in your location to be serviced, no? Syempre, teachers, no, mas maganda pa din na talagang sa Apple Service Center po tayo pumupunta, okay? Alam ko po may tendency, may temptation na makatipid sa ibang ano 'no, sa sa non-Apple service na kaya lang there's also a danger plus hindi po yung ano 'no, yung baka hindi yung integrity ng Apple devices niyo. So, and I know that's a big investment and we don't want it getting destroyed along the way. Okay? So yeah, teachers, kung meron pa po tayong mga questions, just put it in the chat and that will address no a little later on. But before we do, before we proceed, Sir Regan, I believe you have some announcements, some invitations, okay, for our teachers, okay, that you might want to express. Go ahead.
Salamat po, Sir Franco. Buti pinaalala mo yun. Nakita ko lang sa last tab ko. Let me just share my screen again, teachers. Siyempre, hindi enough yung oras lagi, pero we can always find time for more opportunities to learn. Hence, I am inviting everyone to the event that we're going to conduct this November 6th. It's a free event and it's open to all individual teachers, school leaders, and IT managers. So if you have friends, whether in the private school sector or in the public school sector, you are very much welcome to join us. It's called Imagine Learning. That will happen on November 6th. Only 2.5 hours, parang KTS din. Ito yung ginaya namin kasi sobrang practical lang niya. If you'd like to register, please go to bit.ly/Imagine Learning Meet. That will give you the Zoom link. And we're doing it in coordination with the Operation X team of Xavier School. And here's the program overview if should you be interested. So again, that's November 6th, Saturday morning. Teachers, kung may mga tanong kayo related to your Apple services, tsaka mga iba pang updates, please go to our Viber community. Ito po yon, Senko Customer Care. And should you be interested in following us also, just like KTS, please go to Senko Schools in Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Yun lang po. Makita niyo lahat ng mga ginagawa namin dito. Actually, yung mga senior ko sa inyo ngayon. Thank you, Sir Franco, sa opportunity.
At sobrang dami po niyan. Ay maubusan dyan. Kaya very generous din ang Senko link in providing free learning opportunities for us teachers, okay, and exploring these tools. Okay? So, teachers, of course, now we'd like to also show our appreciation to Sir Regan, okay, for his invaluable contribution, okay, to our growth as teachers, okay, by sharing his expertise and time with us. No? So let us present this certificate of appreciation. The certificate of appreciation is respectfully awarded to Regan Austria for sharing his knowledge and expertise in the recently concluded webinar entitled Apple and iOS Tools 21st Century Education Tools, awarded on October 21, 2021, to be signed by your administrators, Joseph Angelo Santos, okay, Paula May J. Mendoza, Angelo B. Malyari, and Franco Nicolo P. Adun, okay, for a training duration of 2 hours. And we kept it as much possible within that time frame. Okay? So maraming salamat ulit, Sir Regan. And kay of course na sana hindi pa ulit ito. Pang-apat na po natin to kay Sir Regan at hindi pa rin po talaga siya nagnunono. Napakadali pong kausap ni Sir Regan when it comes to sharing his expertise and knowledge. Okay, so Sir Regan, okay, before we maybe let you go, maybe like last words or words of encouragement for our teachers, okay, who are now going almost halfway, okay, into the second pandemic school year.
Thank you, Sir Franco, again for the opportunity. And let me take this time to thank all those who attended today. And congratulations for all our accomplishments for the previous years. And of course, for pushing further this school year, no? And hopefully teachers makabalik tayo sa physical school natin. And while we are in the process of imagining what will happen, what could happen, no? Mag-prepare na tayo as early teachers. Alam na natin lahat. Alam natin yung technology, pedagogy, yung content, no? So lahat yan pagsama-samahin natin para pag bumalik tayo sa school, mas gamay na natin lahat. And again, thank you so much. I really adore this community, Teacher Franco. Masayang kasama every time I'm here. Thank you po.
Maraming salamat, Sir Regan. No? And again, teachers, okay, that now, let's now say our thanks, no, and of course our appreciation to Sir Regan, okay, via chat, okay, our virtual applause, no, for Sir Regan. Okay, Sir Regan, maraming salamat ulit, okay, for always being with us, no, and your untiring, okay, efforts, okay, and also unselfish sharing of your expertise and your time. Okay. Maraming salamat. Okay, so teachers, kaya maraming salamat for those who have joined us today. Okay, all 105 of us, live viewers. Kaya before I show you our evaluation link for this event, okay, let me just remind everyone of our event on Saturday. Sana po wag kayong mawawala, teachers. Okay, we'll be talking about Adobe Premiere Pro and Wakelet, from creating to curating. October 23 to 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday. Okay, so paki-mark na po ang ating calendars, okay, so that hindi pa natin ma-miss yan. Pwede nyo rin pong i-add ang aming calendar. Subscribe na po kayo sa ating channel, okay? So that you also will be notified of upcoming events or mga live stream po natin, okay? And okay, with that, teachers, okay, here's now your evaluation link, okay? Please make sure to fill out our evaluation link properly with the proper name, proper correct email address, okay? So we could actually send your certificates. Na medyo nagkakaroon po kami ng problema kapag may mga revisions sa certificates because of our number of people in our organization, okay? And so by making sure na tama po yung pangalan tsaka tama yung email, ibig sabihin mas madali na po tayong makakapag-produce ng certificate. Also, can you please let me know if it actually works, okay? So that I would be able to know and leave you know with this evaluation, okay? So I'll wait for some comments and some confirmation that the link is working and that you are able to open the evaluation. Okay? And again, teachers, while we're at that and some people are checking, working po. Maraming salamat, Pastor Manny. Ang bilis ng pag-check ni Pastor Manny. Thank you po, Pastor Manny, for that confirmation. Teachers, mulit-muli, maraming salamat. Please, let's stay steadfast on the things that we want to do. Okay, alam ko po mahirap. Alam po namin na challenging ang ating situation. Okay, we're almost there, no? We're almost seeing the end of the tunnel. Okay. On this pandemic, okay, and hopefully we get to go back to a face-to-face setup. But okay, let us not also forget, okay, that going back to face-to-face does not mean doing what it used to be. Okay, for 2 years, teachers, okay, our education has been transformed already, and we'll have to really adapt to the changes in our education. Okay, so mulit-muli, maraming salamat and stay safe, teachers. Okay, stay negative from COVID-19. Okay, paalam po.